Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski and welcome to another episode of How'd She Do That? And today we're going to do this fun fold window card. This was a swap that I received from my friend Kelly Atchison and I totally fell in love with it. We did it for my stamp club this past month and I wanted to do a quick video to show you how to do it. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to need is a 9.5 by 5 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. I'm using Whisper White. We're going to score that at 2.5 inches and 5.5 inches. Just like that. Next we'll fold on those score lines. We'll fold it this way. That one was the 5.5 inch one, and this is the 2.5 inch. We'll fold it back, so it's a bit of like a fan fold. The next you want to do is get out your 2.5 inch circle punch, and we'll open the card. We're just going to cut on the what I'll call the front flaps, and we're going to cut out a partial circle. So if you can see, I'm not going halfway, I'm going just a little bit beyond halfway. And since I made a lot of these cards, I actually went ahead and marked up my my punch here with some lines to match it. So I'm just going to do that again. Now, some tips on this. This card had a greeting at the bottom, so I want to actually probably slide this up. If you have your greetings already, then you can kind of figure out where you want to put it. Otherwise, you'll just want to eyeball it from top to bottom and see if that's enough white space for you to add your greeting. And go ahead now, give it a really strong punch. There we go. And there is our window. Okay. And now at this point, if you want to add texture to your card, this is where you want to add it. We're going to add it to just this front flap. I'll come out a little bit. I'm using the Perfect Polka Dots folder, and we'll open the card up. We're going to line it up here to where the texture stops and our fold begins, and then you'll run it through your Big Shot like that to add the texture. We're going to go ahead and add our stamping now. I'm using the Gifts of Kindness, the same stamp set that Kelly used. And this is a wonderful stamp set. It actually lends itself more to a greeting set because it only has one floral image and lots of greetings. Perfect for beginner and experienced stampers alike. Love this one. So we're going to start with the floral image, and I'm going to ink this up with Strawberry Slush. And for me, this is a little bit larger of an image, so I like to ink it up upside down so that I know I got good even coverage. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp. Now this part can be just a little bit tricky. You want to kind of eyeball it to see where you want to put this. And so what I'm doing is I'm seeing where my block fits on the card, and I see that the edge of it gives me just a little bit more white space over here. So now I'm going to go do that. And make sure this is a fairly large image that's kind of solid with just a little bit of polka dot. So I want to make sure I give it a nice good pressing. That's a great image. Now what we're going to do is we'll add a greeting using our StazOn. Now I want to think about a little bit about where this greeting is going to land because this will cover up part of it. I want that to do that. So roughly about there is good. And there's our thank you. Alright, we're getting close. I think this is a good time for us to add this card to our back panel. The back panel is Strawberry Slush, and it measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. Give lots of tape on this. Okay, let's go ahead and add our greeting. Now the greeting was from that same set. Stamped it in StazOn. I used the decorative punch to punch both, this decorative label, excuse me, to punch both the greeting and the matching kind of mat. And I'll show you another one here that I have ready to go. I cut the mat in half and then just pulled it off each side. use 3 dimensionals. And then this cute little flower is from a set. It's called Itty Bitty Shapes. And it has 3 shapes in it, and one is this cute little flower. I'm going to add a large rhinestone. Now these rhinestones come in a pack of 40, and they're all the same size, really large, and they fit perfectly in the center of those flowers. And then the very last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to add some of this ruffle trim. Now this is a stretch, and so when you measure this, this is well, it needs to be at least 5 1/4 inch. I measure mine a little bit longer because it's easier to trim it off at the end. But don't stretch it when you're doing your measuring. That's one tip I'll give you. The next tip is, in order to attach it to this edge, we want to work on it on the back side. I've got my silicone mat out, and we're going to add adhesive so I have my snail adhesive actually about half on and half off here, and that's going to be the perfect edging amount of adhesive for adding this trim. So this trim has a natural kind of edge to it. I'll show you here. See this edge right here, this upper edge? That's what we're going to add to adhere, to the edge of the card. So I'm just gently pressing. I don't want to stretch the ribbon as I go. I want it just to lay completely flat. And we'll just gently add it. And then I'm going to look at it from the front side to see if that works. That looks good. Actually, I'll pull this one up a little bit. And now I'm ready to trim that off. Now, another tip that I want to share is to help this really stay down, I like to use 2 glue dots. So I like to take my glue dot, fold it over. I don't know if you can see that I folded it over, because if I don't, it's a little too wide. I'm going to just pull this up and tuck it right under here. I'm going to do that on the other end too. And the reason for that is that really helps your adhesive stay. And then just give it a nice good pressing. We'll pretend I did that other end as well. And that's it. That's the end of this card. Isn't it adorable? But wait, I have another sample for you, and this is from the new 2014 Occasions catalog. It's called Blessed Easter is the stamp I use for this. Now, you'll see it looks like there's 2 images, but it actually comes as one. So let me show you. It's a single stamp. It's mounted on wood, and you can see here it shows them together. Now what I did is I cut them apart because I thought these tulips, they're just gorgeous, and I think that you can use them for lots of occasions besides Easter. Mother's Day, let's see, thinking of you, sympathy, get well, even birthday. So cutting them apart really gives you way more uses for this stamp. So let me talk about how I did that. Now, originally they came together. You did not get this wood block. This was something that I had to kind of search through my house for. This is the one that you get with it, and I mounted it on there, but before I did that, I cut the 2 apart. I just used my paper snips, and I just gently cut them apart. So there's some tips for that. Now, if you are a clear mount gal, we do sell a cling foam that is designed for clear mount, so that's an option for you as well, but that's another video on how to do that. All right, another stamp set that I used to create this colorful background is a new one called Happy Watercolor. Now it has some great floral images and 3 greetings, but also this is the whole reason you need to buy this set, because boy, you can use this for anything. There's these kind of shadow ones. It has it gradiated from light to dark to the top. I love that. It automatically does that for you. So, and then it has just a little one here as well. So love these kind of shadow block watercolor looks. And you, like I said, you could use it for lots of images, which I did here. This is, let's see, what do we got? Daffodil Delight, Pistachio Pudding, and Cantaloupe, Crisp Cantaloupe. That's what we used on this card. So here's the 2 together. Aren't they cute? Thank you. I have to thank Kelly again for sharing the fun fold with me. And be sure to stop by my blog at DOstampingwithDawn.com for lots more creative ideas and inspiration.